This is going to be a basic training on BobCAD. What you see here is a front screen, nothing more than just a new file. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a rectangle. Appear to a rectangle, and this is going to be for our the block or the piece of material that we're going to cut out. And over here you'll see a rectangle, a Y. We're going to make that 9 inches wide, and that would be the horizontal position, and that was X, I'm sorry. Y is going to be 7 inches, and that's a vertical up and down. And we're going to make it the bottom left corner 0, 0, 0. We click OK. You kind of seen a little bit of blue lines, but we're going to hit the A, which zoom fits all right there, and then you see our nice square box. This is the size of material that we're going to cut. And we go to the cam part. We're going to go to the mill stock. We're going to go ahead and expand out the cam part. But what we're going to do is a couple things here. We want to make sure that we're in the mock DWC. Mill post is what that stands for. To change that, you just left click on it. It turns blue. Right click and edit it. This is how you select the DWC, which is digital wood carver. That's the profile that you're going to set, and this is what's going to make it produce a G code for the digital wood carver. We just click OK if that's not on there, and that should be all you need to do there. Everything else should be set up for mill. If you have any questions, you can click on the mill tool, go down here to current settings. We don't necessarily have a Mach 3 in this, but the first one is fine as long as it's mill type. It's not laser, plasma, or water jet. You just want that in mill, and that was in mill settings, and just hit OK. Also notice our NC file extension. We want that to be .gc. If that's not, you can make sure that that's there. That will be that's the extension on the file that you save, so that Mach 3 will recognize it. Once we got those set, we are going to select our stock geometry. We hit left click, it turns it blue, and then left click, and then we're going to click on select. We're going to click these 4 lines. You can either click on all 4 of them, or you can hold the shift down and it will click the whole string. Once everything's red, you're going to click OK. That selects it, and all that does is just sets up our stock geometry. Kind of gives us an idea of what this is going to look like as we produce it. We're going to import a DXF today. We're just going to simply hit merge. This is going to allow us to import different type of files. We're going to click on DXF down here in the file type. I've got to go to where my DXFs are located. I have one that's set up for my BobCAD DXF file. And we're going to go to section 15. We're going to do I believe a Doberman Pinscher here. And 3 and 10. There's our dog. First thing we're going to do is shrink him down a little bit. He's a little bit bigger than what our board is. We're going to go up here to our translate button. We click on that. This is going to allow us to do a couple things. We're going to scale this, and we're also going to drag it to the right location. First thing I'm going to do is scale. You can't drag and scale at the same time. I'm going to click on scale. We're going to go about 3/4, so that'd be 0.75. And then we're going to, you notice my mouse is a little bigger. We're going to highlight the whole thing. Now just make sure that you unhighlight the 2 lines, or they're going to shrink too. So whatever's red is what's going to scale. We click OK. Once that's clicked OK, you hit OK over here, and it shrinks down. Now at the same time, I'm going to go up here and click in the translate box the button drag. Once I do that, it's going to allow me to drag this anywhere I want, and I'm going to find a nice place right here in the center, click it right there. This will also allow me to copy if I want to copy. I can do a copy. I'll just put one here off to the left hand of the screen. If I wanted to do multiple ones, I can put them wherever I want. But that's a translate button. Okay, now that I've got my dog in here, let's go back to the cam tree. And what we're going to do here is we're going to first, just to see how it does with a normal V-carve, we're going to click on mill stock, and we're going to right click. We're going to go down to the mill 3 axis. Down at the bottom is V-carve. We click on that, it adds a feature here. First thing we're going to do is do the geometry. We're going to click on it, and we're going to do a select. And basically what I did there was I click on it, right click, allows me to go to select, left click. Now you see my mouse's big pointer. I'm just going to create a box around my whole area. Somehow you got to get that whole area selected. Once that's selected, hit OK. It'll turn black again, which is fine. Then we're going to click on the V-carve feature itself. I clicked on it and then right clicked, click on edit. This is going to bring up my box. That's going to allow me to do the different features in this box. First thing, that's approach and entry. The top rapid plane is going to be 100,000 above the top of the board, and the top of the board is 0. Parameters. This V-carve depth of cut that it will allow is showing an 1/8 inch here. We'll probably take that up to 1/4 inch. Most V-carve bits will go that much. V-carve roughing step over. Let's take that down to about 30 thousandths. We can make that finer if we want. That's what's going to make the lines in it. Pocketing parameters. Let's use the V tool as a pocket. The pocket depth, 1/4 inch, and let's make each step over. Once again, we're going to do 30 thousandths on this. The posts, we shouldn't have to do anything there. Next, we're going to click on the tools. This is where you're going to set up on your diameter. We're going to set up on the diameter as a 1/4 inch. We're going to make this a 60. That's what I use, but certainly if you're using a 90-degree V cutter, that is fine. That's a tool there. This is also going to be the screen we're going to set up for our cutting speeds. Now the spindle, as far as the speeds on those, you will not use those in a mill because a router is not controlled by Mach 3. It's a variable speed router that you determine what speed it's going to run the whole time. So you can ignore these two boxes. The cutting feed on this, let's just start out with, we'll go 35. That would be 35 inches per minute. And we're going to do the Z the same. Okay, right now we have set up all our parameters that we need for the V cutting. We're going to click OK. Once that's done, you see the V carve over here is still blue. We're going to right click and compute toolpath. It could take a little bit of time. You notice all the green inside the area of the dog. We can zoom up a little closer. If you hold control, my mouse has that as one of the secondary buttons, but your wheel will allow you to zoom in. Your control in the middle mouse will allow you to pan. Control your right, that's where you can zoom in a box. Control right hand is what allows you to roll it. And you can see that's going to be a little bit, it's going to have some depth there. Okay, if you want to get that back flat, you go here to our view top and it'll make it flat. If you want it all in one, the A will bring it where everything that you've got drawn is in yoga. Okay, we're going to create this G code at this moment. See what this does. To do that, you go up here to the mill tools and you go to post and save, and you're going to have to create a file name for it. You also notice that the save the extension is .gc, which is what Mach will do. We're just going to type in here dog 1. Find a folder that I want to put this in. And there it's saved. You notice over here on the left hand of the screen, you'll see the G code that's produced. If you go up to the top, the module icon at the top, and you click on edit, it will bring up Predator, and it will also bring up Predator with the G code in it. This is where you can edit it. For some reason it didn't pop up to the front screen. Mine may look a little bit different. Yours is probably going to be black and white, just black letters, but it's the same G code. This is going to be what it's going to take. This is what's going to make your file and cut. This particular dog, that G code file produced 12,830 lines of G code to do that V carve. We're going to go up top just to tell you a little bit about what some of these numbers mean. Everything that's in parentheses up at the top is just text that the program is telling you. It'll give you file names and some of the what type of tool it is and stuff like that, and the name of the program. Once you get down here to the N numbers, that's where you're going to start looking at things. T1 means tool 1, we don't use that. S means spindle. Speeds, we don't use that once again. M03, that's what's going to start your spindle and your vacuum, that relay. And then once that starts, your G00 is rapid travel, and this is going to run over to X 3 inches and 991 and Y3 8541. And then once you get there, it's going to go to Z.1. And then the G01, that is cutting mode. And then you see the Z is going to drop to negative 0.2165. And it's going to go at the feed rate, and that's what the F stands for, is 35. And then I'm not going to read all the rest of them because that's just simply your X, Y, and Z coordinates, telling it where to go. And that just continues there. If you make any changes, just hit save, and that should be all you need to run that G code. I'm going to exit out of Predator, and that has just produced this V cutter for inside this dog. Now, one thing on this dog, you notice how it is, it's taken the body of it and it is carving out the body as a hollow. If we want to make this kind of an outline, the dog to be outlined, a quick little feature that what we can do is we can go up here to Other, and we can do an offset. And what we're going to do is I'm going to click on the outside outline of this, holding my shift down and clicking on the line. You notice the whole red line on the outside is highlighted. I'm going to make a 1/16 or 0.06 outside line on that. Oops, I went the wrong direction. So I'm going to undo, and then I'm going to go to the right side of the chain. Oop, I got to highlight it again. If you notice the arrow there, I could have recognized this. The arrow is telling you which direction you're going. My left hand's going to be on the inside. My right hand's going to be on the outside. So I wanted to click the right side of the chain. I click that. You notice how it it basically outlined the outside. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my feature, V-carve, go to my geometry. I'm going to remove all that geometry that I had before. This time what I'm going to do is reselect. Now I'm going to select my whole area, hit OK, go down to the V carve. Now I'm not going to change any of this because it's still set up for the parameters I had before, which I like that. And I'm going to hit toolpath. And this will just give you a quick idea of what we're doing here. Instead of the center being all hollow, now we're going to create a line that's outlining this, and then all those holes that are in the center are now going to be pocketed out. So you have more of an outlined dog than you do one that's carved out all in the center. So that's a quick little way of kind of changing the whole parameter of your figure or whatever you're cutting. Let's go ahead and post these. I'm going to call this dog 2. And save that. There's my G code down here. We're not going to open it up. It'll be very similar to that. But dog 1 and dog 2 would be your samples, and this is the training video on a little bit of basic BobCAD V carving.